Excellent. So again, good morning. Thank you for joining us today for this session on the ARTA Benefits app. We are excited to tour you through this fantastic new tool available to you on your tablets and smartphones that will provide you with real-time self-service options. My name is Amanda Shaw, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at ARTA. I'm joined today by Gary Sawatsky, our Chief Operating Officer, Suzanne Mafosa, our Team Lead for Member Services, Jennifer Hope, our Affiliate Marketing Advisor, and Lisa Sissons, our Executive Administrative Assistant. We've pulled together some of our best and brightest this morning to be available to answer any questions that you may have throughout the webinar. If you've joined us for other webinars, thank you so much and welcome back. And if this is your first one, we're excited to have you. As you may have realized, we have disabled attendee video and audio capability. This will help ensure a quality experience for all of our participants today by limiting web streaming. It also allows us to record this webinar for future use without breaching your privacy. With your audio muted, we encourage you to use the Q&A feature found at the bottom of your screen. I see someone has already found it, so that's great. It's the two little speech bubbles with the Q&A written there. You can type in your questions and submit them that way. You can submit your questions publicly, which means that all attendees can see them, or you can submit them privately so that only our ARTA staff members can see them. If you are submitting personal information in your Q&A, we please ask that you use the private feature to protect your privacy. We will respond to questions throughout the webinar. If they would be beneficial to the entire group to hear the answer, we'll say them out loud so you can all hear them. If they're a personal question, we can type a response back to you that way. We have also created two polls with questions that you can answer. Participation in these is optional and anonymous and simply provides us with some information that we can use to develop the ARTA Retiree Benefits Plan and the tools we use to support it. We're going to open the first poll now. And with those housekeeping matters completed, I'm happy to welcome Gary Sawatsky this morning to open our webinar with an introduction.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a lot of exciting changes happening at ARTA. Especially around our new claims adjudicator and some of the new services that they have provided for us. The big one is the online claim system. This is something the members have been asking for a long time. It allows people to submit their claims instead of having to fill out a paper claim form, mail it in, and then wait for their payment to arrive, which is very dependent on Canada Post, as we've seen with sending out our benefits ID cards. So we're going to go through the app with you today so you can see how to submit directly. We have a lot of good information. If any of you have questions, as Amanda said, just type them out. We'll try to get to them as quickly as possible. If you have been calling the office, we thank you for your patience. We have been inundated with phone calls. We are getting to them all eventually. But we just have a lot of people calling in. We have 25,000 members and a lot of them all have the same questions. Hopefully everybody who's been calling is attending these webinars and we can answer everybody's questions all at once. So thank you very much for that. With that, I'll pass it back over to Amanda.
Great, thank you so much, Gary. So Jennifer is actually going to walk us through the app today. So I'm going to welcome her to start leading us through. Before she starts, I'd like to let you know that Jen is demonstrating the app on her iPad. So if it does look slightly different for you on a smartphone, that's likely the reason why. So all the functionality is the same, regardless if you downloaded the Android app, the Apple app, and what device you're using. It just might display a little bit differently as it's been kind of customized for every app or tablet.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Amanda. Also, I just wanted to note that throughout the presentation, I may need to re-sign in during the presentation because after a certain time period of inactivity, the app will time out, sorry. It's just an added security feature. So with all my talking, I may time out. So I may need to sign back in. So I apologize for that disruption if I need to go ahead and do that. Anyways, let's jump right into the app. So all active members of the ARTA Retiree Benefits Plan have access to the ARTA Benefits app. You can download the app through the App Store on both Android and iOS phones or your tablets. So once you've downloaded the app, your login screen will look like this. Your username and password are identical to your MyArta sign-in information. You must create a MyArta account to successfully log into the app. So from the login page, you're also able to access your member ID card. So if you click on the bottom right-hand side of your screen where it says My ID card, your ID card will show up, and this is the front of the card where it will have your member benefits ID number. And this is the card that you're able to show your health service providers, like your pharmacist, your dental, your dentist, physiotherapy, and they'll be able to record all of your information, and they'll be able to put it in their system. So this will be the back of the card. It'll look a little bit different than this on your card because it will have all of our phone numbers populated, but I just wanted to show you that you are able to access your card from the front page of the app. So also, if you have forgotten your user ID or password, you're able to click on this blue click here, and you'll be able to retrieve a password as well as create a MyArta account if you haven't done so already. Also, if you click Remember My User ID on this device, you won't always have to sign in. So let's go ahead and log into the app. So welcome to the ARTA app dashboard. So this is your ARTA benefits app dashboard, and on this page, your most recent claims will be shown, as well as the options to check your coverage level for quick and easy access. So coverage level, you'll be able to check for dental, massage therapy, chiropractic treatment, as well as drugs on the go. This tool, you'll be able to look up a drug by name or DIN, but I'm going to review that a little bit later on in the presentation. First, let's check some coverage level. I will check into Jane's massage therapy and see what her coverage levels are for an example. First, you need to click the plan participant. So let's check Jane, what she's got for massage therapy. So here you'll be able to type in the type of treatment. So in this case, it'll be massage therapy. The length of the treatment, we'll give her 1 hour, the date of the treatment, and how much she thinks that her appointment will be for her massage therapy treatment. So we'll say $100. And we will choose Alberta as the province of where she is receiving the treatment. However, if you are, in BC or Saskatchewan or Ontario, you are able to check in your province of residence. So let's click on check eligibility. So when we get to the eligibility results, it'll give all of Jane's information, the total amount of visit, and how much the plan would pay. And also under reasons your plan may have reduced the paid amount, her co-payment responsibility will be $1,800. So now Jane knows that she can go to her massage therapy treatment and she will be responsible for $18. And under plan and limitation, it'll explain exactly what she has for her benefits. So she has $10,000 maximum every calendar year. She's used $660 this year. And also she has for extended health services benefits such as physio, massage, chiro, she has $1,000 maximum every calendar year. And she has used $545. She's been very busy these past 2 weeks getting massages. So let's go back to the dashboard. You can get back to the dashboard by either pressing the back button or this little dashboard icon on the red bar. Now let's take a look at one of Jane's most recent claims, and so we can see where she's at. She submitted a massage therapy claim on January 12th. So let's click into this. So this will give a summary of her claim that she had submitted, the payment and who it's being paid to and where exactly everything is. So everything has been submitted for this payment. So you'll be able to go in and see exactly what has been claimed and the amount. So let's go back to the dashboard. Now let's go through this bottom red bar and how you're able to get to your claims, health providers, and I'll go through the menu at the end. So let's click on claims and let's submit a couple claims as an example. So you will be able to submit a new claim or view your claims history on this page. If you need to submit a new claim, you can click on the blue box, New Claim. As an example, so a list of services will pop up and you can choose which service you're looking to make the claim for. For this example, let's click on drug in case you need to submit any claims for prescription drugs. So first you'll be asked to choose which plan member you are submitting for, either the main plan member or a dependent. Let's click on Justine and submit a claim for her. So you will be asked a couple questions. If you have any coverage under another benefits plan, if you toggle the button to blue, that means yes. If you toggle the button to gray, that means no. So you'll be asked if you have any coverage under another plan. If your additional coverage comes from a provincial seniors drug plan, you don't need to specify that, such as the Alberta Health Plan for seniors. So we'll just toggle this as no for Justine. You'll also need to answer whether the claim was incurred as a result of an accident. And if it was, you will need to answer whether or not it was due to a motor vehicle accident or a work-related injury. But we'll just say that Justine hasn't incurred this claim as an accident. So let's click on claim details for Justine. So this is where you can attach any receipts or documentation associated with your claim using the document upload feature. There is also a space to type in any comments or additional notes if you feel further explanation of details is necessary. I'll go ahead and attach a receipt. You can either attach a receipt by a file that you have saved on your device. You can take a photo or you can select a photo from your library. I'm going to go ahead and select a photo from my library. So this means that I've taken a picture of my receipt, I've saved it into my photo library, and I'm going to choose it from the list from all of my photos. So here is my receipt. I'm just going to click on the receipt, and then it will upload to the Upload Documents feature. So once everything is filled in and attached, let's click Next. Then you will be asked to agree that all the information you have submitted is complete and accurate. So let's agree and continue, and then you can confirm your claim, and just to ensure that you have submitted all of the right answers, and then you can click Submit. So this just shows that I have successfully uploaded my documents. Just please note that all drug claims are reviewed manually by our third-party adjudicator, Green Shield Canada. And because of this, your claim may take a couple days to process, depending on the volume of other claims that they are processing. Let's go back to my claims. So you can either go back to my claims by clicking this blue bar, or by the little guy in the claims in the red bar at the bottom. Let's submit another claim, but let's do an extended healthcare claim. Oh, this just means that I have to re-sign into the app because it looks like I have timed out. So just give me 1 second. I apologize.
Jen, while you do that, I'm just going to answer a couple of questions here.
Sure, great.
So there is a question, someone is trying to check their coverage with dental. So there are a few types of claims where it will not necessarily show you your actual coverage level. This is specifically true with dental and with custom foot orthotics. It will say that you need to call the ARTA member services team to check your eligibility. This is because those service providers typically have a history of fraud, in that they find out you have coverage and it looks like you have little money signs all around your head, and they choose a price based on what your plan will cover for you. So There are a couple of areas where when you go to check your eligibility, it will just ask you to contact the ARTA team instead of providing that information for you. It's just to help limit fraud by certain service providers. There was also a question when submitting claims in regard what types of other coverage you need to declare. If you're covered by a government-sponsored plan, you do not need to declare that on here. You're simply declaring if you're covered by another private benefits plan. So if you have a spouse that perhaps is still working and they have coverage under Manulife, you would declare that. Very few of our members have that dual coverage, but if you are one of those members, that's where you would claim that. Okay, sorry, thanks again.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay, my apologies for that, but I'm glad we were able to answer some questions. So again, I'm gonna click on claims. I'm gonna do a new claim. And I think I'm going to submit for a physiotherapy treatment. So this is where you will need to choose a service provider. So if you have already searched a service provider before, your service provider will show up in the top box here. But if you cannot find if you have a new service provider or the information isn't correct in the top part here, we can look up a health provider by their name. I'm just gonna look up my physio. So first name starts with the letter P, last name March. We'll search. Thinking about it. So P March, so he showed up here. So I'm gonna select his information here. And also if your service provider does not show up in the list as in the search result, you can provide information about your health provider and you can put in all of their information by clicking this blue button here. So I'm just gonna click the physiotherapist. Again, I'll have to select which plan participant I'm submitting my physiotherapy treatment claim for. So let's choose Jane. So again, you will be asked to answer a couple questions. Do you have coverage under another health benefits plan? Yes or no. We're just gonna click no. Was the claim incurred as a result of an accident? Yes or no. Again, you'll have to answer whether it was a motor vehicle accident or a work-related injury. And also in this one, you'll have to indicate whether or not a medical prescription, if you have a medical prescription to submit with this claim. And if it's yes, you'll just need to provide the date and which type of medical professional referred the service. So let's click on claim details for Jane. So here she'll be able to she'll have to indicate the type of treatment she is receiving, either a physiotherapy first visit or a follow-up visit. Let's do a follow-up visit and the total amount of the visit. And then you can click save at the top right of your screen. So this is just reviewing that she is submitting a physiotherapy follow-up visit for $100. Let's continue. Again, we will need to agree and continue that the information that she is submitting is correct. And here's the claim that she has, here's the confirmation of the claim that she has submitted. So her plan information, the answers to the questions, a physiotherapy follow-up visit, the date, and the total amount of visit. And let's submit the claim. For extended healthcare claims, you do not need to send in any of your original documents or receipts, but we do ask that you keep them on file for at least 13 months in case your claim is randomly selected for an audit. So submitting a claim for physio, massage, acupuncture is quite easy as you do not have to upload a receipt, but we do ask that you hold on to those. I'm gonna head back to the dashboard and let's see if anyone has any questions in the Q&A box that we can answer as a group. Amanda, is there anything that you wanna answer here?
Yes, there's just a couple. So some people are having issues getting the pop-up to work so that they can choose a photo from their library.
Okay.
It may be that when you initially logged on, it needed to ask you for your permission to access your photo library. If it didn't pop that up, you can go into your settings and find the ARTA Benefits app and then change the permissions to allow access to gallery. So Jen's just
Yeah, I can
navigating there now.
I can show you that. So if you go into your settings under the menu here, you can click on ARTA benefits and then click on photos, and then just make sure that your access to all photos is on.
Thank you. So yes, so that may be why you're not having the option to choose a photo from your library, is if the permissions haven't been selected. You can also see that when Jen was in the settings, there was allow you to use a location. That will be needed to be turned on for at least while you're using the app if you want to be able to use the geo-targeting of the Find a Health Provider features. There was also a question earlier about some of the verbiage in the terms and conditions when you first log on. This is pretty typical with apps or online claims tools where you're using your personal information. So it was just reviewed by Green Shield Canada and by ARTA legal team, and it just kind of reminds you of certain things, including to keep your phone safe, because it does have personal information on it, and if someone could get access to that personal information, they could use your benefits fraudulently. There also is just additional verbiage in terms of liability and all that fun stuff that our lawyers wanted us to include. So that's why that's there. You can also find all of the legal terms and conditions for the app and for all of the ARTA websites on our arta.net website if you want to go through them very carefully. There was a question about coverage and that the claims being paid out at $72. So claims are paid out at 80% to a maximum level for certain claims. All of that can be found in our plan text or by contacting our member services team. Our plan text is available on arta.net under benefits and forms and then benefits information. So if you're looking for very specific items, you can check there. As well as the check coverage features here, or by contacting our member services team. We will add the plan text to the support center on the app that Jen will show you, so that you'll be able to access it from your app as well. So that is in progress.
Okay.
Thanks, Jen.
Okay, thanks. Next, I'm going to go take a look at, in the red bar, health provider tab with the little pointy finger there. So here, you'll be able to search for a health provider, a pharmacist, a doctor, dentist, physio. So if you're looking for a new health provider, or say you're in a different province and you're looking for a health provider, you can do that here. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter a postal code and then choose here. And then choose the provider that I'm looking for. So, you know, you can choose, look for counseling services, dental, find dental services, orthodontics, or professional services. So all of your fun acupuncture, massage. So I'm just going to look for a physiotherapist. And then I'm going to click this. There's a search that comes up in my keyboard, or you can press the done button at the very top. And so it will bring up a list of all of the different physiotherapists in and around my location. And also when you sign into the app, you'll be asked to turn on your location services while using the app. And that will allow the app to find the different providers where your location is. If that's not working, you can go back into the settings like we showed before to access your photos. And then you can make sure that your location services is on. So I'm just going to click on one of these guys. So this will bring up that physiotherapist office and give me their address, email address, phone number, and their hours of operations. So I'm just going to go, there's a little arrow at the top here. If you click that, that'll bring you back to the map. So I'm just going to go back to my dashboard. And now we're going to review what is under the menu button. So the menu button is this icon with the three little lines here. So this is also a way to fast track any, if you need to submit a claim or get your ID card. If you click on this menu button, it will give you a list of operations that you can do. So under My Claims, this will take you to the same page where you can submit a new claim. But let's look at claims history. I didn't go through this blue bar. I thought I would go through it while we were in the menu. So let's click on claims history. So this will review all of the claims that Jane has submitted in the past year. You can either click on I'll go back here, click on these 3 lines, and you can search for a claim that you were looking for. Or you can just click on all of the claims that she has submitted for. Let's see, her extended health services. She has made 13 claims. She has been very busy these past 2 weeks. And then you can review all of the claims that you have submitted. And at the bottom here, it will give you a total of the amounts that you have claimed. And so she has claimed $1,500. She has been paid $600, and her copay she has been responsible for is $230. So this gives you a really great summary of all of the claims that you have submitted. So I'm just going to go back to the menu button. You can also find your ID card here, like I showed you at the beginning of the presentation from the first page, where it gives Jane's member ID, benefits member ID number, as well as it'll have phone numbers. This is just an example of what the card looks like. Your card will look a little bit different, as it will have your plan, what plan you're covered under, if you have any supplemental travel on your card, and all of your phone numbers. So if I go back to the menu, so now I'll go through the Drugs on the Go tool. So Drugs on the Go is also available on the front page as well in your dashboard. So it's also available in this gray box here, but you can access it through the menu. So this tool will allow you to see whether or not you are covered for a certain drug you are looking for. So you're able to look up a drug by name, or you're able to look up a drug by its drug identification number. So if your pharmacist uses the word DIN, it means drug identification number. Healthcare providers love to use acronyms. So just so you know, DIN means drug identification number. So let's look to see if Jane is covered for a drug. Let's use Celebrex. So type in the name of the drug, click the search button at the top right of the screen, and then choose the milligram amount that you would like to see if you are covered for. And then your search results will come up, and it will tell you whether or not the drug is covered under your Alberta Retired Teachers Association benefits plan. So it looks like Jane is covered for Celebrex 100 milligram capsule, and her co-payment responsibility will be 20%. And if you need to find a pharmacy here, you can click on pharmacy, and it will take you to this map again. So let's go back to the menu, and then let's click on My Benefits. So this is just another way that you will be able to check your eligibility for all of the benefits listed here. So as an example, again, we'll go through one. Let's click on prescription contacts. Again, select the plan participant, Jane. So her service is she'd like to get some contacts, the date of her purchase, the total amount of all contact lenses, we'll say $50, which, oh, province isn't showing up. Oh dear. I'm going to note that that is not working, and we will get that fixed. But once you put the province in, you should be able to check eligibility, and it will show what she is eligible for her prescription contacts. Next, you'll be able to find a pharmacy like we demonstrated before. Also, you'll be able to find a health provider as well. Oh, I just need to sign out again, sorry. Amanda, do you have any questions there?
None for the entire group. We're just typing away here.
Sorry. All right, let's log back in here. Oh dear. Okay. So yes, let's go back to find a health provider in the menu. If you click on these 3 lines at the top, again, you're able to enter your postal code and then click on find which provider you're looking for. I'm going to look for a acupuncture treatment, and I will click on the done button at the top or the search in your keyboard. And again, it will bring up all of the providers that I am looking for. Next, let's click on the support center, as Amanda was talking about before. So this page is a help section specific to the ARTA benefits app, as well as the myarta.net portal, and it is loaded with answers to frequently asked questions. And hopefully it'll help you make the best of your ARTA benefits app experience. So you're able to look at FAQs, how do I submit a claim? Am I covered? Also, we have how-to videos on the ARTA YouTube channel. There are tutorials on the myARTA, how to submit a claim, how to submit a dental claim. There will be a video on the app. We are just working on that, so hopefully it'll be posted early next week. So yes, you can just go to the support center and hopefully you can get some questions answered that you might have. Let's go back to the menu. You can look at the terms and conditions as well if you wanted to review those terms and conditions that had popped up when you first downloaded the app. If you click on My Settings, you're able to toggle yes or no whether you would like Touch ID from your tablet or your smartphone, or Face ID recognition. On some of the newer phones, you're able to sign in using Face ID, so you can choose that or not. And then you're able to log out from this menu as well. So that's all I had with touring you on the myARTA app. If you have any questions, please enter them in the Q&A box. So thank you. I hope that was helpful.
Okay, so some great questions coming in. So one question was, can health providers submit claims directly as before? Absolutely. Direct billing is still available. So any service providers or health providers that were submitting claims directly before can continue to do so. If you're also covered by your government-sponsored health plan, again, your service providers can direct bill that plan first and then bill the ARTA retiree benefits plan for the remaining balance. So that hasn't changed at all. All health providers can still direct bill. These features and online claim submission is just available for those members that don't have or have health providers that don't direct bill. Thank you for the suggestion about having the app available in landscape orientation. At this time, it's just available in portrait orientation, but we can certainly take it back to our app developers and see if that's possible for a later version of the app as well. Gary and Suzanne, there's a question about claims while in the USA. Can you speak a little to that process?
Yeah, I can answer that. Of course, Green Shield is a Canadian company, not an American company, so they will not have any providers listed in the United States. In that case, you would have to fill out a paper claim form and submit it to the address listed on the form.
Thank you. So there was a question about that you've always had your drugs covered in full. So yes, in the cases where your drugs have been covered in full, that means the drug you're claiming is eligible under both the ARTA retiree benefits plan and the provincial seniors plan. The provincial seniors plan is the first payer. So your pharmacist would be submitting the drug for payment to the government plan first, and then would be paying the balance to the ARTA retiree benefits plan. And that's why the copay is covered and your medication is paid in full. It's the coordination of those two plans. Jen, can you go back to find a health provider and search for a doctor?
Sure. So I'll start, so I'll go to the health provider icon. I'm hoping this hasn't timed out. So I'm just gonna put postal code. So go to my favorites. Let's go to, is it under professional services? Sorry.
Doctors are usually would bill the province directly. They're not usually covered by group benefits plans.
Sorry, it looks like we are unable to search for a doctor under the health provider. Professional services, counseling, dental, good care.
Okay, so we'll definitely take that back to our app development team and see if they can add in the ability to search for a doctor as well.
Thank you, great question.
Okay, and so it does not appear that there is a search button for the app. There's a question about that as well. If you could follow up about exactly what you're trying to search, we can certainly indicate it. There is not quite as much functionality on the app as there is on the desktop version. So if there is something specific that you are trying to find, sometimes it might be easier to revert to that desktop function as well. So thank you all for joining us today. That will conclude our webinar. We're going to post one more poll that you can take part in if you like. We will also continue to monitor the Q&A box for any additional questions that do come in. If you can't find the answers you're looking for on the Support Center or one of our other My ARTA tutorial videos, you can contact the ARTA office for further assistance or additional information. We are open Monday to Friday between 8:30 a.m. and 4:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Our phone number is 1-855-444-2782, or you can send us an email to info@arta.net. With a new year, new web tools, and new member ID cards, we have been experiencing higher than normal call volume, as Gary indicated earlier, and it may be difficult to speak with a member of our team instantly, but we are working hard to respond to all of our members. We do thank you for your patience and your continued support and are looking forward to serving you even more closely in the years ahead. An email will be sent out to you following this that will include links to an article on our website that walks you through how to register for My ARTA, though most of you have successfully done that, so you won't need that link. But we'll also include a link to our YouTube page where all of our tutorial videos live. This webinar and the other webinar topics are also being posted to YouTube. There are a couple up already, but the remaining will follow this week so that you can reference them as you familiarize yourself with My ARTA. There are some additional questions coming in, and so we can address those. But if you have no further questions, you're more than welcome to leave the webinar by pressing the leave button in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate you joining us and hope you found it useful. So we're looking forward to talking to you in the year ahead. There's a couple of questions here. So is it a lengthy process for a provider to set up with Green Shield? No, it is not. It's quite simple. They have an online tool for providers to use called Provider Connect that makes it quite easy for them to sign up. There are incentives for your provider to sign up with their direct billing systems. So all of that can be found on Provider Connect for your service providers. And so it benefits them to sign up as well. They get reimbursed quicker as well using the direct billing system. So try very hard to convince your service providers because it'll make it easier for you as well.